Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody. I'm Preacher Moss. This is the Shout Out Show. You know what today is? It's Throwback Thursdays. But before we get to Throwback Thursday, I hope everybody's having a great day. Sometimes having a good Thursday, heading to a Wednesday, heading to a Friday, I'm telling you, man, it makes the whole weekend just sweet. So sweet you could taste it. So listen, before we get into our topics of Throwback Thursday, I want to let everybody know next week, as far as the shout out show, Tuesday, I will not be doing the show. Alhamdulillah, I have a good reason. I'm going to be defending my thesis next Tuesday, from 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock to 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, respectively. So I want all of you guys and sisters and brothers to make the dua for your brother. We may even have a live look in of me defending my thesis. I'm working that out with Sister Satana now. Why am I saying this? Because I believe that if I can get my master's or I can get a degree, anybody out there can get a degree, get training, you know what, get inspired to go out and do what you want to do. Don't worry about time, don't worry about money. Those things work out. I've been inspired by a lot of people to do this, and I hope that getting this thesis done and getting this master's, it's a benchmark for all of us. What I'm trying to say is it's not my victory. We all win. All right. So let me give a shout out to anybody coming out on the show for the first time. Here's the rules. You are amongst family. I have to say that again. You're amongst family. What does that mean? It means that you don't have to come here and worry about putting on airs. You don't have to impress people. Impress us by being yourself. All right. That's all we ask. Be yourself. And, don't be a wallflower. Jump into the comment section and let us know who you are. Share. This is a very special group of people. If this were the world of cryptocurrency, the people on the shout out show will be their own coin. That's how valuable they are. That's how rare they are. Okay. So you're part of a very special group. So you know what? We're welcoming you to the fold. Take our invitation and run with it. That's all I'm saying. Now, that being said, also get in that box if you don't mind. Make your comments. Like I said, we want to hear from you because you're definitely going to hear from us. This is the Shout Out Show. While I'm the host, I'm not the owner of the platform. I'm not the owner of anybody's opinions. We get them, we put them up, and that's the way. That's the brand of the show, the Shout Out. So I'm going to show you guys something I love. This is my favorite part of the show. I'm going to give my brothers and sisters who are in the comment section. Let me give you your shout outs. First up, Sister Ree always in the building. Sister Ree is like 6 o'clock in the evening and 6 o'clock in the morning. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Sister Ree, we hope that you're feeling better and you're recovering. When you go help people, we got to make sure you take care of yourself too. You got to be able to help the helper. All right. You got to be able to help the helper. So we hope that inshallah you're feeling better. My main man, Altaf Rashid, again, like 6 in the morning and 6 in the afternoon. My brother is here on the show. Thank you so much, Altaf, all the way from Canada. No passport, no immigration. He doesn't need those things, brothers and sisters. He's an international man. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate you, and may Allah continue to bless you and your family. Next up, there we go. This Sister Rhea on the other side. This is my brother Derek, her husband. Yeah, and I'm gonna give a shout out to brother Derek too. Man, thank you so much for just being there and just being hospitable, being generous. Derek hooks me up sometimes. He brings food by. Just a good dude and taking care of my sister. So you're always going to get points, man. You're getting points. Next up, we have who? All right. I know who next up who we have. We have our consultant producer, Satana Whitfield. I know, and the sad part is I get into these things, I forget because she's gotten so proficient on the board. Satana, you got to give yourself some credit. So Satana Whitfield, I want to give her some love and respect and acknowledgement for making this show be a little bit better. So I talked about Tuesday. So, your host is going to be Satana Whitfield. But I think we're going to have a really, really fun show on Tuesday, inshallah. So let me kick this thing off. Our topic today on Throwback Thursday, TBT, is, brothers and sisters, the greatest family events. The greatest family events. I brought it up because, with COVID, we didn't really get into our family events, things we normally do. trips, things like that, And I thought it'd be fun to kind of revisit that a little bit, to throw back to those days a little bit. You remember when people used to go around each other's house during the holidays? It used to be the funnest time. Thanksgiving, you had to eat 3 or 4 times. You remember that, right? Y'all don't remember having to eat 3 or 4 times? You had to go over your mama's people's house. You had to go over your daddy's people's house. Whew, I'm so happy that my mama's people were down in Danville, because if they were in DC, I think we'd have fell out just from sugar highs. Because I'm saying it was so much good food at that point in time. And I hope that the COVID thing kind of recedes a little bit, just so we can get back to having those family events. I don't want to be around my family and be scared about catching something or giving them something. So I think we're on the right track. But to not even get involved with that, I think it's fun to go back. I don't know what your greatest family events are. You can put them up. I'm going to start the pace and tell you one of my favorite family events. You're going to be shocked. It was Easter. Yeah, Easter. And I'm going to tell you why Easter was so great. Easter was amazing because Easter was the one time where you got a suit that wasn't attached to Christmas, because you really didn't get a suit for Christmas. You got new clothes. You didn't get new clothes for Easter. You got a suit. And let me tell you why this is important. This particular Easter, I don't know if my mom is watching or not, but this particular Easter was different. Normal Easter, you're trying to dress up because you got to go to church. If you're black, you got to go to church on Easter. I don't care what they say. You're going to church on Easter. But there was preparation. Now there was a little store we had in DC off of Route 450 by Capitol Plaza. It was called Morton's. Now, Morton's, the black folk at that point in time, was sort of like Saks Fifth Avenue or Tiffany. We weren't going there. Morton's had all the fly gear. Everybody went there, got their fly stuff. And I was used to getting my clothes from Morton. All right? If you took me to Morton as a child, I was a happy kid. But this particular Easter, we did not go to Morton's. You hear what I'm saying? We did not go to Morton's. Now, Morton's was a yearly thing. Come around Easter, I'm thinking I'm going. This Easter was different. One of the greatest family events I'm getting ready to tell you. Why was it a great family event, brothers and sisters? We didn't go to Morton's to pick out my Easter suit. All praises due to Allah. I got a custom-made suit. A custom-made suit. Brothers and sisters, it's on my mind and in my vision right now, just like I was wearing it when I was 9 years old. It was bad. And I got my hair cut. I had a part about this long, had a little bit of hair, enough so you could see the part. And I had this suit. Now, the woman that made the suit, I don't know if she's still around now. Kind, very kind woman. Her name was Ruby, Miss Ruby. And this is why I like Miss Ruby. You know what? Because, when you're a young kid, when you're an adult and you get fitted for a suit, it feels awkward. So when you're a kid getting fitted for a suit, it's really awkward. When you're getting your clothes made. Now, this is what I didn't know. This is from living in the city. That a lot of African-American families made their own clothes. They made their own clothes. I didn't know that then, but it was a big deal. I just didn't know it. People went around me to express that. But it was a big deal when you made your own clothes. And I realized why they made their own clothes, because they couldn't go back in the day into some of these stores, fancy stores. But more so, you had people who were skilled as seamstress and tailors and things like that. And as an adult, I had some custom-made clothes. But this Easter was very, very special because I had an Easter suit. Look at me. Look at me. I'm about to get emotional. I had an Easter suit. Brothers and sisters. White shirt, green tie. I had a suit that was checkered. Listen, green, white, and yellow with light green pants and brown shoes. Whoo, you couldn't tell me I wasn't cleaner than the board of hell. I love that suit. Let me give a shout out to my brother. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, JT. I'm talking about greatest family, Brent's brother. I'm talking about my first custom made suit for Easter. Boy, you know you got on a bad suit when you get in the car and you don't want to sit down because you don't want to mess up the crease. I literally held on to the thing and was holding like this till my dad said, "Boy, you out your mind," and I had to sit down. The pants, the belt, the suit, brothers and sisters, was the killer. And I love that suit. And you know the only time you took your suit off at Easter dinner is when you're going to do some work. You never ate in your Sunday clothes. You never ate in your Sunday best. So we got Sister Sultana talking about Thanksgiving at my grandparents' house. Now, was it the food or was it the run-up, Sister Sultana? Was it the food or the run-up? In fact, Sister Sultana, come on in real quick. Come on in. Come in the stream real quick. Was it the food or was it the run-up? Because Thanksgiving in my house was literally about what people were cooking. Literally. Like people had expectations. Open up your camera.
Yeah, I'm open.
No. Open up your camera.
Yeah, I'm open. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah,
I don't know why it's not open. Okay.
I'm not sure either. And that actually, it was more the course than the holiday. It was, of course, the food, of course, and actually getting together with family. So
And I think people need to know like Thanksgiving, Easter, why those holidays are really big. Because once you had Christmas, it was a drought.
yeah,
It was literally a drought till you got to Easter. And then you got to, of course, there you go.
there we go.
Yeah, you got to Easter. You got to you got the Labor Day. You got the Memorial Day. I'm sorry, but Memorial Day was short.
Yeah.
Easter was the holiday where everybody would take off an extra day. Kids would be out of school. That was the thing about Easter. So after Easter, you had no more breaks from school except for one day. So
Mm.
you wouldn't be off a couple of days. So Easter was a big deal for us. I love that one. And it was the first time I remember this. It was the first tie I actually got that wasn't a clip-on tie. Like I had to tie it in this green suit, and I was like, boy, if I could change my last name from Moss, it would have been from Preacher Moss to Preacher Shaft. I was like hitting everybody with that GQ thing. You throw the tie out like that, and I
Yeah.
got I got to emulate my Uncle Frank before we ate because they let me. This is big. I had on a custom made suit. I did like my Uncle Frank, and I got to take my tie and flip it over and eat. That was my first time I got to eat with the big boys.
Autop said, "Bring back that suit."
I'm gonna find a picture, Altaf. I got a
Autop, come
picture, boy.
on.
No, my mom got a picture of that suit somewhere with Miss Ruby. God bless Miss Ruby because she
Autop,
made a
don't
nice
encourage
suit.
him.
We didn't have to go to Morton's, boy. The big family event that I lament a lot of times because we don't really get to do it anymore. Um, the family vacation, like the
Mm.
family summer trip where Pops put his time in for like 2 weeks or a month in some regards, and he's like, I'm gone. My favorite road trip with my parents was I had to go. We went to Montreal, right? We went to Montreal, but we drove everywhere. So we went to Montreal, then we turned around, and then we were going to drive to Disneyland. But here's
Mm.
the hook.
Wow.
I caught a fever. I caught basically a summer flu on the way down. And everybody knows, we were driving like this green Buick. And they had me in the back seat, and it was like a French fry joint back there because there was no shade. So I was sick and sweating the whole time. And so we stopped. If you go down 95, you've probably seen this before, maybe not. If you go down 95, keep going, keep going, keep going. We were going to Orangeburg, South Carolina. Orangeburg,
South
South
of the
Carolina,
border.
south
South
of
of
the
the
border.
border. South of the border.
And you know that thing? There's a thing called south of the border,
That's right. That's
and
right. The
it's the
best fireworks.
it's the most racist thing in the world because it's got like a picture of this Mexican guy down south. There were
Yes.
no Mexicans. There were no Mexicans nowhere near
Huge
that place.
banner. A huge banner. Huge, you know,
South of the
thing of this
border,
Mexican guy. Yes.
they got a Mexican guy with the guns and a sombrero,
Yes.
and there was no Mexican food. It was no
Fireworks
Mexicans,
though.
no
Best
Mexican,
fireworks.
just fireworks. That's all you could get out there. And bathrooms. I mean, it's built up now.
Yeah.
It's
I
built
haven't
up
been
now,
down there
but
in
back
years.
then it was
Yeah.
nothing. And the
Yeah.
only reason we rejoiced when we got to south of the border, I think that's like Florence, South Carolina, around that
Mm-hmm.
area, is that it was fine. You were finally close enough to Orangeburg, South Carolina, to like breathe. So all the you know all the arguments on the way down with your parents. You're driving
Yeah.
too slow. You want to drive? Yeah. You ain't driving my car. You get the whole thing. Meanwhile, I'm in the back. I'm stressed out. We get to my Aunt Hannah's house. God bless my Aunt Hannah and Uncle Duncan. We get to the house and they tell him I'm sick. Right. And, my dad's like, well, the boy's got a fever. My Aunt Hannah goes in the kitchen and starts whipping up these concoctions. Just if you say, what is that in the jar? She said, she doesn't say what it is. She goes, it looks good. What's that in the jar? Oh, it look good. What's that in the carton? Oh, it's all right. I was like, so took some concoction. It made it worse. It made it worse. I think it sped up the fever a little bit. So I literally get another. And here's another thing about the time. We're talking mid 70s. There was no central AC.
Mm. No, there wasn't.
No central AC in
Yep.
Orangeburg, South Carolina,
Or in the car.
in the summer, in the car.
Right.
I got a fever. I'm dying. They had a box fan and it was positioned over a bowl of ice. That was the AC. And it wasn't even like one of the fans that moved, it just stood in one place. And I literally was delirious. I was delirious from fever. I remember walking out in the middle. They were having a conversation. I was so gone. I walk out in my drenched t-shirt, my drenched tidy whities, and I go, "Will somebody open a window in here? Jesus!" And then I like fell out. That was it.
Last words.
But I mean, but you know what? You miss those trips, man. The trips.
Yeah, for sure. It was a time to bond and I guess the halfway point for us was like the Maryland house, right? It's pretty
Oh my
further.
God.
Yeah, it's further north from DC. So, but that was kind of our halfway point on 95. So it's like, okay, we know we're gonna stop here. It's the Maryland house and the other one. I forgot the other one that's
It was
near there.
Maryland House. It was like Waffle
Yeah,
House now. It's like Waffle
not the
House.
Waffle House. It was Maryland House and another like huge stop. I can't
Was
remember.
that before the Susquehanna River?
That's before. Yeah, it's like it's probably like a few miles from like the Maryland house. It's
Okay.
like another huge one. Yeah.
No,
So
but those were the times though.
yeah, yeah.
My worst family event was when we had to drive either to Philadelphia or we had to drive to New York. Hated the traffic. You know why? Because there was no air conditioning. See, at least when you're in 95 and you were moving, you could roll down the window.
Yeah.
When you're in traffic in New York, because traffic in New York now is like traffic in New York when it was like in 77.
Hmm.
You sit still and sweat. Like you
Yeah.
literally sit still and sweat. And I'm like, man, it's the worst. But when you look back, it's like, man, those are really, really fun times. When you showed up to a relative's house and they had planned for you to be there for a weekend or 3 or 4 days, it's the best feeling. It's the best feeling. And I don't know why it was with my mom and dad, but when we showed up, it was always nighttime when we showed up to to a relative's house. It was always nighttime. You showed up just in time to go to bed.
Right, right,
I was like, you couldn't play with anybody. Like, nah.
right.
Your
Especially,
mom, your
it,
parents would rehearse you in the car. Now, when we get in the house,
yeah.
you're gonna take them clothes off. You're gonna brush your teeth. You're gonna put on your pajamas. You get in that bed. You ain't gonna say nothing. You hear me? I'm like,
And if it's the deep south, it's like no lights.
yeah.
The car lights are the only lights when you pull up to the house. So it's like, what are you gonna do?
I mean, I remember the funniest or the greatest family events is when you had to pick and choose where you were going to use the restroom, and you have to tell everybody, you better go now. That's my dad. You better go now because there'd be nothing out there. What we got? Altaf says see, you remember going to a birthday party, family members invited too many people. Now, I personally believe,
Yeah.
some of my relatives love the sound of burning flesh on their leather. Yeah,
Or the plastic that they use to cover, you know, that
I don't know
plastic.
what cancer
Yeah.
causing toxins were in
Yeah.
them plastics. I was like, I was like, the whole idea. I'm going to saran wrap my furniture.
Hmm.
It's like you don't even have any kids. It don't matter. And it was a sense of protection over the furniture. Like, oh man, I remember my uncle was like, y'all jump on in the car, and he'd make us wear shorts. He make us wear shorts. Like, y'all hop on a couple of no, no, no. That was the
Yeah.
reason for me when I got older. It would be entire summers, and I would not wear short pants. Even to this day, I rarely run in short pants and shorts. I run in sweats, and it's because I've been traumatized from those younger days of sitting not on a car seat, brothers and sisters, on a July day in Danville, Virginia. The temperature would be 103. They'd be like, let's go somewhere. Literally having to sit on a sun, you would cry. Like, go and get in there. I was like, nah. He said, is there a problem? I said, yeah. I don't want to sit on a griddle. I was like, I don't want to sit on a griddle. And my poor cousin Jason, we would tell him to go get something. He was younger than us. Hey, there's a dollar. Hey, Grace, there's a dollar in the dresser. Go get it. And he'd run, and me and my cousin would be on the cool side of the car.
Further traumatizing family members.
I'm like,
That next generation, right?
he sit on that seat like, ah! I was like, yeah.
No way. No way. So
Oh man.
let's hear from some people in the comments. We got a couple of minutes, but what's your favorite, um, or like your favorite family event memories? And we probably need to do like a summer show, like because summer is coming, and probably need to dedicate something just towards the summer. But like, what's your favorite? Let's see. We have Johnny
JT.
comments. Let's see.
Yes,
JT would
indeed.
say we drove to the Million Man March. So this is in DC, and we were told um, to go to the bathroom. Unfortunately, we had to stop before Chicago in order for him to go. We told
Yeah.
Bo to go to the bathroom.
I didn't know
I don't know
Bo.
who that was.
Bo
Okay.
was Bo was JT's friend.
Okay.
I knew JT. We know how to roll. So it's like, hey, we ain't getting out of the bathroom till we get to Ohio. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I don't know what Bo drank. It just ran through him, uh, like electricity on a stormy day. It's like he did not make. He was like, I gotta use the bathroom. I'm looking at I'm like JT. Like, are you kidding? Like, where did you get this guy? He didn't make it to Chicago. It was like before Chicago. It's not like Lansing, Illinois, or Hammond, Gary. It was none of that. We didn't even make it to the Indiana Turnpike. He's like, I got to use the bathroom. I was like, dude, And then we used to judge. I was like, dude got a bad case of TB. You know the TBs, right? Teeny bladder. I was like, boy, don't you drink a thimble of water? No, don't you
TMI,
don't you drink
TMI.
a thimble of water?
Let's hear what
My
Mama
mom,
has
my
to
mom
say.
comes up.
So,
Oh yes.
so Assalamu alaikum, Sister Mary. So she's saying, after we left South Carolina, we spent lots of fun at Disneyland. Then caught the boat on to the Bahamas. Great fun and added days to the trip to make up for Mr. Sicky Bryant. Mr. Sicky Bryant. Start
Oh,
using that.
we went to the Bahamas. It was a Goomba festival, and it
Mm.
was just so fun. It was so fun. We had a good time. I was sick though, but I love my aunt, my great aunt Hannah. You know why? Because she ran a candy store. So when I got better, uh, she let me work in the store, and I took all my pay in candy.
Win-win for her, right?
But you know what? I'm not ashamed to say it though. When she closed the store and the kids would come up and like, the store is closed, I would sell my stuff to the kids that came up at a nice little markup. Because you should have been here. The hours are. I'm like Big Red from Five Heartbeats. My business hours are. God bless my Uncle Duncan, my Aunt Hannah. But I'm gonna tell you something. I deep in my heart hope they went to heaven because in July, if they died, they didn't have to go to hell. It was right there in the house with no air conditioning.
Jeez. And with
Well, you
that,
know what? You have to appreciate that. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. My grandmother's house, they don't have air conditioning. I don't know what it is with that group, that era of folks that did need air conditioning. Right. I need AC. My grandmother would have a whole unit, a whole window unit, and we'd be sitting there sweating in place. You see it, sweating in place, and she
it's the
wouldn't move. She'd
it's the
just be
generation.
she'd
You
just
know,
be sitting. She sit by the air conditioner like, oh, y'all hot.
but that's the same generation who could like pick up like a cast iron pan while it's on like a hot fire. It's like, didn't that burn you? Oh no, I don't feel it. Like, what?
Yeah, they're out of look. They are out of that generation. Satana, they're out of that generation. My aunt Hannah, my grandmother, my great aunt Hannah, my grandma, they could take a thing of Crisco, put it on the stove, melt the whole thing of Crisco, pour the grease in, fry whatever. I tried one time in military school. I didn't want to use, I wanted to melt the polish so I could put it on my shoes so they'd be shiny. It was a shortcut. Satana, it melted that thing and all of a sudden it started percolating. You just saw these big streams of just black shoe polish, blue. It was all over the kitchen. My mom and dad were coming home. I was like, oh my God. I was scrubbing for about an hour and a half. It shot over the kitchen, the refrigerator, the floor. I was like, it seemed so easy when grandma was doing it with Crisco. And I think that's it. She knew how to do it.
Sure, yeah, years of experience.
Yo, this is a great family event. This is a food one. Watching elders make fried chicken, and
Hmm,
it seemed like they knew exactly the amount of lard to put in there. They had like this big spoon, bam. That was it. It was like a big dollop. It just worked out for the chicken every
sure,
time. Every
sure. No need for measuring cups, measuring spoons, or even recipe books.
yeah.
You know.
I was down south. One of my friends said, "Your mom." I said, "Your mom don't need He said, I said, "Your mom don't need a recipe book." He said, "Man, my mom can't read." I was like, "Okay."
Oh,
Okay. But I was like, her food though just seemed to work
yeah.
out.
Do
Seemed
much
to work
better
out.
than recipe. Yeah, do much better than recipe books.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
All
Well,
right.
that's our time, everybody.
So don't
Um,
forget about our special guest.
yes, yes.
All right. I'm going to bid adieu to everyone. Good seeing you all.
All right. Well, I'm going to
All
introduce
right.
our guest. Everybody, you should have gotten a note. You should have gotten a note that we're going to have Brother Shahid Amanullah is going to be on the show. Now, Brother Shahid Amanullah is going to be on the show. Now, he is a tech proviso. He's a guru. He's a serial startup guy. For anybody that's wondering, you know what? How do I get into entrepreneurship? Let's take some things out of it. We're not talking money. Okay. We're not talking money. We're not talking big backing. Okay. We're not talking buildings. We're talking about the idea because people buy ideas and making sure that we know how to develop ideas, share ideas, communicate ideas. That's what this show is going to be about. I'm going to have some good questions for him, but I want you to have some good questions for him as well. He worked in the Obama administration as a special tech advisor to Hillary Clinton. He's done things in the Muslim community. The Alt Muslim magazine is one of the first foremost Muslim oriented magazines that came out. He's done apps. He's done all this stuff, and he's going to be on our show on Saturday at 5 o'clock. Probably going to run the whole hour. We're going to see how it goes, but I just talked to him this morning. He's extremely excited. I'm extremely excited to have him on the show as well. All right. So last comment, we'll put that up for Miss Mary. First Million Man March, all day by myself. All right. There we go. Oh, that's when you did it. Okay. I think I misread that. So first march on Washington. Yeah, it was her and my aunt. One day I have to get the picture. So let me get into our sponsor real quick. Our sponsor is BeFinanciallyIndependent.com. Again, that's BeFinanciallyIndependent.com. If you don't want to use the internet or your computer or your phone, call 1-800-679-3175. Again, that's 1-800-679-3175. Now, before we go, remember our guest, Shahid Amanullah, who's going to be on the show. This is going to be a great show. In fact, for some of you, I've actually been sending out stuff by hand to make sure you do. So, Tom, if we have anybody on our email list, send them out the flyer. I want to make sure that they have it so people can't say, hey, preacher, I didn't get the message. You have gotten the message. So listen, I got to bounce. I appreciate you guys. We're heading into some curious waters for myself, some untested waters as I prepare for my thesis defense next Tuesday. And I'll be working through the night to make sure that I turn in my final draft tomorrow. Peace and blessings, everybody. I'm Preacher Moss. This is the Shout Out Show. See you soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hey, everybody, this is your brother, Preacher Moss. Listen, I hope that you enjoyed your Shout Out Show experience. We'll be back with the next show, the next Shout Out Show. A simple ask before you go, please help your brother out. Click that subscribe button, click that notify button, and I'll see you again on this side of the microphone. You probably wonder what that smell is. That's me. I smell good. And the reason I smell good is because I use oils from Tarifa. So I'm not saying you can't smell good. I'm not even saying you stink. I'm saying you have the opportunity to smell exquisite. Check out tarifatar.com for some of the best oils and scents in town.